We out here with ApeGang Garci, man.
Yeah.
We live from 6200, man.
6200
the block where it all started at for ApeGang and all that, man.
Yeah, right here on this corner. You know, this shit ain't no facade. A lot of niggas rap groups is basically put together. This shit wasn't put together though.
Right. So yeah, like we said, we did the interview with F.A.M.E a couple months ago, and he basically was saying like y'all all grew up together, and that's basically how y'all started the whole group and all that. So basically, give them a rundown from your perspective, like how it all started for ApeGang Garci. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like F.A.M.E said though, you know, we all came up together. You know what I'm saying? So it really was Ready at first. You know what I'm saying? Ready was the one that really was hot, but we always was a family because it's where we all came from. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, me and F.A.M.E, we was doing our thing, but we still was all under ApeGang. It was All Pro Entertainment, matter of fact, before it was ApeGang. That's where ApeGang came from. Everybody asked me, like, where ApeGang come from? Where ApeGang come from? All Pro Entertainment, and then we started saying APE, you know what I'm saying? And then that just turned into ApeGang. And, you know, at the time, Ready was like, you know, he was like the big bro at that time. You know what I'm saying? Me and F.A.M.E, we was young niggas. We was 13, 14, 15. Ready got us by 5 years, so we always was like a step or two behind Ready. You know what I'm saying? So when he started getting hot, you know, we just was supporting it, and then we started getting hot right at the time when he started leveling up. So, you know, that's really all that was about. It wasn't like no shit where like niggas got put together or, you know, niggas was just on some shit. Any nigga that we tried to recruit and put him with this shit wound up getting cut off at the end. So, you know, it's just like a family thing between us.
So Ready really started on the Big Star tapes, right?
Yeah, with the Big Star joints. What was they called again?
They was All Pro Entertainment. Yeah.
No, the tapes was called
the tape. Too Raw for the Streets.
Too Raw for the Streets, right?
Yeah.
Ready started on that, and he started getting. He had a little spark from that, but he wasn't really like, you know, he wasn't really all the way there. And you know who had a lot to do with our beginning. Our beginning too was QDZ, because at the time he was still at the Come Up show, and he used to talk about Ready a lot. And you know, him and Cosmic Kev was close at that time. They're close again now, but this at the time when they was around each other a lot, and QDZ used to talk about Ready a lot. And Kev actually started lending the ear. He was like, yo, I like dude. You know what I'm saying? And he just really started pushing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit that Ready was on back then, what people don't know is Kev really put those together. Kev put a lot of those plays together. Like what was the Cicero joint that Ready did? I forgot that it was Ready, Meek, Cicero, Mike Knox, Joey Jihad. I think that was it on there. But that was Cosmic Kev play. He told something about what was it? I forgot how the shit went. But you know, that was Kev work. Kev told him, you know, you could do the song if you put Ready on it, I'm gonna push it. And Ready ain't have no ties to Kev or nothing. That was just like all love. So from that little situation right there, I always had love for dude Kev. So yeah, that's how that started.
So then the Headshot era kind of kicked off. So was y'all like really rapping at the time?
Well, the Headshot era kicked off before we started getting love from Kev. When the Headshot era kicked off, we didn't get no love yet. That was right before us. You know what I'm saying? We got love. We got a little bit of love with the Too Raw for the Street shit. Then it died out with the Headshot era because they had their own thing going on. At that time, we couldn't get on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody was coming through really fucking with us like that. So we just were like, man, fuck all that DVD shit. We're going to do our own thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we started our own movement. We ain't piggyback nobody. We ain't dick ride nothing or none of that. We just started our own shit and really just was like, this what it is, all black. Like at that time nobody was wearing all black, and we just brought it back on some NWA type of shit. Like niggas mobbing season, everything we do we wearing all black. We bringing ski masks out, niggas rapping black flags around their face and pulling choppers out on camera. I was younger at that time, so I was wilder than, you know what I'm saying? That's at that time when I was catching all my little wreck and all that in the neighborhood. So on top of the rap stuff, I was getting a name in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that started coinciding with the music, and motherfuckers just started fucking with it. You feel me?
Right. And yeah, so moving forward, I mean, when I really start, I mean, seeing y'all in the mix and hearing about y'all was down the back cave recording heavy, and that's the time where everybody used to come down there. If anybody in the city who was in position, who was doing their thing, a lot of them was coming down back cave, and y'all was down there heavy. Then we start seeing y'all on shows and DVDs and doing y'all thing. So speak on like being in the mix and working with a lot of the artists that's out there in the game that everybody familiar with.
At that time, you had to not only be a spitter, but you had to somewhat be solid to step in there, because at that time, that's when Gil and them niggas was probably like, what, 09, 08 that we talking about, right?
Right.
That was damn near 10 years ago. And at that time, you had niggas like Gil, Knox, Black De Niro. A couple of them niggas was lit at that time. So of course, you know, we was the new niggas. So we had to really, like, you know, every record that we got on with somebody, we had to say something every bar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas like us, niggas like A.R.Ab and them, we was really like the new niggas coming up. You know what I'm saying? But our movement was so strong that them niggas had to get on shit with us. They had to put us on their project because we was shaking the streets up so much on our own. We had every camera nigga really fucking with us, every producer. Every time we in Batcave, we doing 10-hour blocks. Every producer and every cameraman in there, that's when I knew, like, damn, we creating history right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was. And everybody was fucking with it. So it just was like, damn, like, you know, at that time, you know, Gil and them niggas was showing us mad love, and that's every show Gil had. He told me, like, yo, you can come with us over Delaware. Them niggas was getting booked every weekend too, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursday. So every show they had, we would make sure we show our face there and show love. You know what I'm saying, to them niggas in order to show love back. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we really started shaking the streets up. It was nowhere that you could go in the city musically and not hear ApeGang or not see ApeGang. And we really was in the clubs buying 50 bottles and 100 bottles. We started that shit in the city. We was the niggas in the city, you know, with our ApeGang jewelry on and the motherfucking bust down rollies and all that, and we hopping out of cars that mean something.
Yeah, and it's back in those days when y'all was running around, like you said, popping up at the shows with Gil, and I mean, shaking the streets up and all that. A lot of people know you now from being affiliated with Dreamchasers and Meek Mill and all that, but y'all established a relationship around that time too, because at the time he was recording down Batcave heavy and y'all was down there heavy. So speak on like how y'all established a relationship in order to move forward in the situation y'all in now.
You know, it's crazy, man, that a lot of people don't really know about me and Meek. Back in 09 or 2010 or whenever this shit was, we got tight because we had like a little misunderstanding with each other. And it's at the time like he was going through a lot of shit with a lot of different rappers, and you know, I wasn't worrying about rap shit at that time. I was more so going through shit with niggas in the streets, and not saying he wasn't going through shit with niggas in the streets, but mentally my mind just wasn't on like no rap beef or nothing. And I got a call about somebody, you know, somebody that he used to be cool with, supposed to been like, you know, talking bad about us, and man, you know, we had a misunderstanding, so we got on the phone, you know, we talked like men, and we really put that shit behind us. And after that, you know, me and dude got real tight, and it was just like, yo, we started doing a couple joints together, a couple blogs that I was doing before we even did songs together. You gotta think, this at the time, Meek was fucking lit. He had the city on smash, bro. So at that time, he really was doing little small shit for me. Like, if I'm doing a blog or if I'm doing an interview, he'd show his face in it, you know, and ApeGang, and, you know, ApeGang, them balls on fire, and this and that and that and this, you know what I'm saying? And that also created a little room for me to really, like, build my catalog and Ready and Preem to build their catalog. And that was, like, little shit that I appreciated. This before he really took all the way off. He had the city on smash, but he didn't take all the way off yet. Then after that, he would call me a lot at that time, like, yo, I'm shooting a video down here, come down the video shoot, Jordan Towers shooting it. For those that don't know who Jordan Towers is, this one World Star was just taking off. Jordan Towers had this shit on smash, bro. So at that time, he had called me and put me around niggas like Jordan Towers and shit like that, and I'm like, damn, I really fuck with homie because he extending his hand and putting me on people that he really don't gotta put me on. You know what I'm saying? So that already just like made our relationship like real sturdy. You know what I'm saying? Like I started feeling like, yeah, I fuck with cuz. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he need from me, I'ma do it. Whatever, you know what I'm saying, I need from him, he was doing it. So that put us on a different level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now at this time, what's up with you? Alaikum salam. At this time, I had Rubber Band Guap 2. Rubber Band Guap 1 was lit. Then I did Rubber Band Guap 2 and I hit him. I said, yo, cuz I need you on this joint. At this time, dude fucking popping, bro. Like, I tell him I need him on this shit. He came right through the studio. He ain't waste no time and none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he did a verse for me. The nigga recorded his verse probably, bro. He went in the studio and one take that wrote his verse in his head and knocked it out. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't try to charge me nothing. And then at this time, he could charge niggas whatever because at the time, he was running with Tip now. Now, I get PD Crack on the song. And now me, him, and PD got a joint called About the Money. We wound up shooting a video. He came out, you know what I'm saying? He held me down. And from there, that just stamped our relationship. I had unconditional love for him at that time. I went to jail in 2011. I had caught a crazy drug case, and you know, a lot of motherfuckers was counting me out and saying, damn, you know, Gar's done, Gar's ain't coming home no time soon, and this and that. And I caught a real serious case, you know what I'm saying, for over 1,000 grams. And you know, all my codees, I had a couple codees on it that I didn't even know, and them niggas stood tall, you know what I'm saying, and my name started getting strong in the jails, and then, you know, I got a lot of street cred off of that, on top of the little wreck that I was doing out here. Niggas stood tall on a crazy drug case that a lot of niggas would have folded on, and you know, niggas looking at me now like, damn, that just ain't no rap nigga, dude really a real nigga, you know what I'm saying. While I'm in the jail, I'm getting little shit from niggas down Burke Street, like, yo, you know Meek? I'm like, yeah, I know him. Oh, he told me, I talked to him, he said, you really his folks, you know, he fuck with you, and this and that, and you know, niggas started sending me a lot of pictures in jail, you know, with Meek, or, you know, Reddy and Preem. When they started moving around with Meek, I was locked up for all this shit, you know what I'm saying, and I started getting love through the COs now. Now the COs looking at it like, oh, you know, Meek Mill, like, and they doing extra shit for me, like, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, you gotta think, I went to jail, I think he just was getting signed to the Ross or some shit like that. Now, I'm in the jails, I don't know how big he is, I'm just seeing this shit while I'm in the jails, like, I'm seeing the COs do all this extra shit for me on the strength that I got a relationship with this boy. He's sending words through the jails like, yo, you know, Garci really my folks, that's really my man, this and that and this, you know what I'm saying? And that really stamped us again. When I came home, I reached out to the nigga, and he ain't waste no time, he ain't do none of that. He sent me his number and was like, yo, hit me, XYZ. I came home January 2013, he was like, yo, you gotta come out Houston for All-Star Weekend, which was in February. So I'm like, man, I'm fucked up for real. You know, I'm just coming home. I came home to not a penny. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he like, man, you gotta come out, bro. You know, we fuck with you, this and that. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. You know, I go out there and I fuck with him, man. He really just was like showing me a lot of love when I was out there. He was doing a lot of shit for me. Yo, what's up? He was doing a lot of shit for me out there that I appreciated. And now you gotta think, I'm in this nigga hotel room. We leaving the hotel, and I'm seeing like paparazzi laying outside this nigga room and all types of crazy shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This nigga really lit now. Like, now, you know, they talking about him and Rihanna. Like, so it's a lot of shit going on. It's like a little bit too much for me to fathom, for real. And you know, man, we just started getting tight. And then now everything I asked him for after that, he like, no, I got you. Every time he was like, dog, all you gotta really do is come on the road with me every time. He was like, every time you come on the road with me, I'm gonna put you in a position where the light gonna hit you. He said, he started telling niggas, like, everywhere we at, he telling niggas like, yo, look out, like, I want Garci to stand right here so he could get some of this light, he gotta get some of this love, you know what I'm saying? I wanna light my dog up, you know what I'm saying? Shit that I don't gotta ask the nigga to do, he was doing it, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, we built our relationship off of that. Then, when I was in jail, it was a time where Reddy and Preem flew out LA, and he knew they was out there. He told them, come through the studio, MTV gonna be there. He put them niggas on camera, and he was like, listen, I want my niggas to ride around in a Phantom with me so y'all can see how this shit feel, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that meant a lot to me. So it's just like, we just started building like that. As far as the situation now, you know, that come about with the whole DC affiliation thing, Ben, is like, you know, that's my dog first and foremost. So we had a conversation just about, I was like, man, we was in Onyx, matter of fact, we was in Onyx strip club. So we talk, and he like, man, I'm telling you, like, X such and such what I said about you. I be wanting you to go hard. He was like, he said, it seemed like every time you go hard, you stop. He was like, bro, all you gotta do is go hard for a year. He was like, you around me all the time. Won't you start running with the DC stamp? So I said, say no more. He was like, man, just run with the shit, bro. I'm telling you, man, the shit gonna work for you, bro. He was like, you got the swag.
Damn, as we doing the interview, a nigga rap past begging this shit.
Yeah. He was like, you got the swag. He said, I feel like you got the look, you just don't go hard enough. So that like motivated me a little bit to really jump back in my bag, because I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, you know, you gotta think I'm a nigga that I'm still living life day by day. You know what I'm saying? Till music start paying my bills, I can't focus on music 100% at that time. So now he like, man, I'm telling you, he's making so much money, bro. He like, man, I might make 30,000. He like, bro, I remember one time I was with him, it was New Year's Eve, we went to, we was in Atlanta, he went and picked up like 40 grand on the walkthrough. The same night he slid down Diddy Party, picked up like another 30. The next day he went and beat Khaled for 90 grand. When he beat Khaled for 90 grand at the crib on basketball, I was there for that, and then we left there and the nigga went and picked up another 30 grand. Like, so now to me, I'm like, man, fuck it, I'm ready to take rap serious. Like, I need some of these checks. He like, yeah, just run with this shit, bro. I'ma back it. Whatever you need me to do, I'ma do it. And XYZ. I started running with the shit, and I started feeling as though like I wasn't able to like make my money, you know what I'm saying, like with the, cause you know I got real estate going on, so I wasn't able to like make my money doing the real estate shit and doing whatever else, and I felt as though I was slipping away from everything that was making me money on the day to day, and I stopped doing that. I stopped focused on the music just to get back to my money so I could go ahead and secure my situation. So, you know, that's how that really happened with the whole Meek situation.
Yeah.